Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Today, I'm here with Katarina Carlsson, she empowers entrepreneurs to find their driving purpose. I think we all need some help with that and to help them to reinvent themselves for ultimate success. So that's what she does. And we're here today to have a conversation about that and other things as well. So tell us who you are and tell us about yourself.
So my preferred name is Katarina Hanssens Carlsson, Joanne, and although my formal name is Catherine Carlsson, I'm a global entrepreneurial consultant. And what does that mean? It means that somebody comes to me and says, Katarina, I would love to start my own business, but I've no idea what or how, or I've no idea. And in 4 hours, I find their entrepreneurial identity, their driving purpose, and their compelling vision. And they succeed. So that's what I do. And I'm also a mentor for TechStars.
Okay, wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, so tell me, whereabouts do you live? Do you live in the UK? Are you from the UK? Tell me about you.
I was born in Scotland, and I was raised in London and Cambridge in the UK. I spent 12 years in the States, which was wonderful. And now I live in Stockholm, and my family live here too.
Wonderful. So you're
And
a
now,
real
yeah.
expatriate.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
So tell me, how did you find your share? How did you find your driving purpose? What led you to the path of finding your own driving purpose to help other people find theirs?
Yeah, good question. It actually took me 20 years to find my driving purpose, and I just would not give up. I started off as a teacher. Um, which was okay, but I am not for the educational system because I know it's not that I just believe it. I know that children are dumbed down in schools.
Mm.
They are so many don't find their driving purpose because they're dumbed down. So I didn't enjoy the system, unfortunately. So I became a psychotherapist because I wanted to know more about the world. Why are we the way we are? And why am I the way I am? And I was very successful in the south of Sweden. By that time, I'd moved to Sweden. I had my own therapy center. In Stockholm, I was one of the top psychotherapists, but I wasn't fulfilled because by that time I'd found my core values: truth, greatness, and vision. And from that, I created the entrepreneurial blueprint, which is about my client's truth, not about mine, my client's truth, their greatness, their vision, and also finding out their sabotage strategy, which is really important. We all have one. 95% of small businesses fail. Why? My view is they don't know their sabotage strategy. They haven't reinvented themselves. And they lack not resources, but resourcefulness. So you have to have the mindset for success. So that's a long-winded to tell you that, it took 20 years, but once I'd found my core values and created the entrepreneurial blueprint consultation, I haven't looked back.
So when
So
you talk about a sabotage strategy, are you
yes,
talking about on a personal basis with regards to the leaders of the company, or are you talking about purely for entrepreneurs here?
for everyone, Joanna. But I work with entrepreneurs. But everyone has a sabotage strategy. You have, this little. I I
The
won't
little voice.
I won't say anything rude on. But it is a little voice. I would like to call it a little ape, a little monkey, the monkey mind.
Yeah.
Yes, that's kind because it can really. It's the one that says you can't do it. You're worthless. You don't know how to do this. If you have that going on in your mind, it affects the whole of your life. it will tell you, oh, you don't have to do that today. You can do that tomorrow. You don't feel like it.
Sit down and watch Netflix.
Yeah,
Yes.
Netflix is a good thing. Yeah, you just entertain you've had a bad day. It's like that. It can be really soft with you, and it can be really tough with you. And it's a liar, and it wants to keep you safe and small. It's in neuroscience. It's comes from the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain and the ego mind, the altered ego mind, excuse me, keeps us safe and small and so-called secure. But actually, it keeps us safe and small and dead. Dead, I mean
That's a
dead
very strong
inside.
word.
Yes, it's a very strong word, but I mean it. Because it leads us into a life of nothingness.
Mm.
Just um,
Stagnation.
yes, yes, absolutely. In our comfort zone, and it might seem fantastic on the outside. You might have gone through school, passed your exams, gone to university, got a great job, a great salary, but you feel empty inside. It's that deadness I'm talking about.
So, how does knowing your driving purpose impact that deadness inside?
Well, it's almost the other way round, Joanne. Once you find your sabotage strategy and you reinvent it, it points directly to your driving purpose. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, but you've got to find it first, and
Okay.
it can be a little bit painful, and but because you have to go deep into yourself, and we live in an age of AI, and people are becoming very robotic. I don't know if you've noticed, but
Yes.
that's we it and it's not their fault. It's almost like we're programmed through school. Dr. George Land actually did research 62 years ago on 1,600 children who started school up to the age of 6 with 98% creative genius. Every child does.
Yeah.
By the time they're teenagers, it's down to 12%. By the time they're adults, creative genius is down to 2%. That was
Wow.
been proven with a NASA test, and we've done nothing about it to
Well,
change it.
that's very sad. I mean, I think where are the children going from here? What are your thoughts on that? Because I think it's a really I, I totally agree with what you're saying. I've got two kids, they're just going through university now. And the school very much does. You have to study and then you get a job. And then once you have a job, you stay in it for life. Well, AI is changing all of that. So there's
Yes,
no guarantee. A job is not a job anymore for life as it used to be. So what do you think? How do you think things are changing?
well, I have to say dramatically, because AI is going at lightning speed,
Mm,
and our educational system is going at snail pace.
yeah,
So
it's
even
true.
even our universities and colleges, it's just as you say, pass these exams, get the job, and stay there for life, and stay stuck for life. Because then,
Mm,
what do you do? Even doctors, you know, they have an intention, they have a driving purpose to heal people,
mm,
and then they find that they're just pushing pills,
yeah.
medication. And there, about 10 years ago, there was a high suicide rate in female doctors because they'd studied what seemed for most of their
Yeah.
life to become a doctor. And then when they get there, is this it?
Yeah.
This what I do? I'm a excuse me, a drug pusher.
Yeah. Basically,
And,
yeah.
and my patients come back to me and say, yes, but now I'm diabetic because of this medication.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the question was, what do students do? What do children do? What do young people do? Your students in your children in college, in university, and on their way to get jobs. It's almost like you have to get out of the system. You
Yeah.
have to find who you are, what you're up to, and where you're going. And you can do this with the entrepreneurial blueprint. Absolutely. That's one way. Also, I have a global partner, And we've created a kind of like a Dragon's Den panel. It's really exciting. And it's for 6 to 16-year-olds,
Okay.
sorry, 8 to 16-year-olds, to find out if they have an entrepreneurial idea.
Sounds
And
fantastic. Yeah.
the the one who they come with their parents, they're 8 years old. They come with their parents, and they've discovered, either their parents have or they have discovered, and it's even better if they have come up with a fantastic idea, because they haven't been so dumbed down at this point.
Hmm.
They come up with a fantastic entrepreneurial idea for a business. They bring their parents, and we ask them questions. It's a very gentle Dragon's Den, and they get a reward of up to $5,000 to start their company, which is quite a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They get a $2,000 one-day consultation with me as well. So that's
Wow.
about $7,000 resources, and then they can go on a monthly training with us as well. I'm not the only one. I would suggest to young people in school and people in college, university, go out, find an entrepreneurial coach, find an entrepreneurial consultant, uh, find your entrepreneurial idea. Because even if you decide to go into corporate, to go to get a corporate job, start your entrepreneurial journey now.
But
Because
you
about
just said not everyone has an entrepreneurial spirit, so that wouldn't work for everyone.
well, I don't know about that. I think you're right in a way. I think 30% of the classes I taught, I noticed, were intellectual and academic. The other 70%, part of I think there's about 50% of the class that are potentially entrepreneurial. And I think that even if you're not an entrepreneur, you can still have a business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the distinction between being an entrepreneur and a business person? A business person creates a business for profit, right? And that's it.
Hmm.
An entrepreneur has a mission, right? They're driven for some reason. Steve Jobs was driven. He wanted a computer in everybody's home, old people, young people, and he succeeded,
He
right?
succeeded. Yeah.
He succeeded, and he was very focused. So he was definitely an entrepreneur. Someone else who says, "Well, I want to sell Coca-Cola," well, the company is already owned, but
Yes.
I have another product, whatever, or I want
Yeah.
to sell soft drinks or energy drinks. They are looking for profit. They're not really out to empower
Create.
or help people. Yeah,
I think
right.
entrepreneurs tend to create, and they
They're
they
creative.
they see. So tell me, how do you create your compelling vision then?
Right. Well, then stage one is to find out who you are as an entrepreneur. Everybody at one stage in their lives been an entrepreneur in some way. I mean, my clients say to me, "Well, I sold lemonade when I was 6 years old, to buy a bike, or I sold all my toys. That's entrepreneurial. Or I sold eggs, whatever." Um, it's Yes, eggs, that's a business, but it's in order to do something. All right, so you have an established identity as an entrepreneur, no matter when it was. You reinvent your sabotage strategy, you find your driving purpose, and then you create your 5-year vision. Now, we tend to underestimate what we can do in 5 years, and we overestimate what we can do in 1 year. Most of my clients say, "Oh, Katarina, this is fantastic. I'm going to make 1 million in 1 year." And I go, maybe, maybe not. Let's
Yeah.
be realistic now. So you don't want to disappoint yourself. You want to overachieve your goals, not underachieve your goals. So realistic 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year goals with a vision that in 5 years, this is how I'm going to live, this is how I'm going to be, this is my income, etc. So that's the compelling vision, and it drives you every single day.
So basically, it's where you want to be in 5 years' time. In you
Yes,
create a picture of what your lifestyle is going to be in 5 years' time.
absolutely, with a specific goal that by what would it be by 2031 I will have and what you will have accomplished, and my income is, and you've got a number,
Okay.
you've got a specific number, because that's a goal, and then you know whether you've achieved it or not, and
Okay.
it's measurable. Yeah.
I think, but we all set goals, and some of them we achieve, some of them we don't. I mean, the reason that I have achieved the goals that I've set is I have a very strong why for those particular goals. So just creating a
Tell
vision.
me about your why, Joanne. I'm
Uh,
interested.
I have small goals that I have small, so I have why. So for example, I want to be fitter and stronger
Yeah.
because as I get older, I want to be flexible. I want to be able to open the jars on my own. And
Yes.
so I've started a mission where I do strength exercises, I do yoga and things like that. So, and I want to be a little bit smaller. So my why is I want to look good when I put my clothes on. So for every, obviously I have business visions and business whys. I want to help as many non-native English speakers as possible to communicate in English. I have numbers attached to that and all the rest of it. But I have very strong whys, and the whys is why I achieve my goal, not just having the vision. I've had the vision for decades of
Right.
living a nice lifestyle and flying first class and this, that, and the other. But when I put my why together with my vision, that's what drives me.
Yes, exactly. And there's a why to the driving purpose as well. And
Right.
it's when you have your driving purpose and you're very clear about it, then there's a why. Why do I want to do that?
So
Yeah.
what's the difference between a driving purpose and a compelling vision?
There's a big difference. A compelling vision, a driving purpose is, this is what I'm brilliant at. This is my genius. This
Okay.
is what I have to offer the world. And this is what I want to offer the world. So for me, it's being a global entrepreneurial consultant and helping people with their mindset all the way to scaling and beyond, right? Because mindset is 85% of your success. And a vision for me is, what's the picture? What does it look like in 5 years' time? So goals are part of the vision, but there's a very, very big distinction between a driving purpose and a vision.
So why is it, do you think, that most people don't know their driving purpose or have a compelling vision for that matter? Why do you think most people don't have that?
I think, Joanne, that going back to school, children want to be discovered. Education is educare, is to bring out what's already there, right? So little children go to school, they're enthusiastic, they go, oh, they're so enthusiastic about, oh, I'm going to school. I'm a big girl now. I'm a big boy, and my teacher's going to find out how brilliant I am. Uh-uh. No, your teacher, if they're an average teacher, is going to say, sit down, be quiet, and listen to me.
Mm.
It's not going to say, what's your opinion? Who are you? It's, we have at Global Leadership Schools, I'm the founder of Global Leadership Schools, and we have an app that all children, all young people can answer. And it's 14 questions. What's the purpose of school? Who are you? What do you love to do at weekends? What's your favorite thing to do? If you didn't have to go to school, what would you be doing? What do you want? What would you like to do in 5 years' time? All those kind of questions, so that every teacher has access to every child's brilliance app. And it's also got, who's your favorite teacher, what's your favorite subject, etc., etc. So it's very difficult for a teacher to be able to access every single child and know them personally. But with these apps, they can.
So, do you think the gap then is one of teaching standards, or do you think it's the management of the schools then? Do you think everything needs to be changed? The whole education system needs to be changed?
Yes, I do.
So
Absolutely.
where would you even start with that? Because I totally agree with you. I think that the days of learning things by rote are disappearing because, I mean, when I was at school, if you wanted to know where countries were in the world, you would just get out an atlas. Now you can Google it, and you can find out not only where these countries are, but the population, what the key area of industry is, and all the rest of it. So I think that that education has to change because there's not so much requirement for learning information by rote because it's so easily discoverable and the young people can find out anything within seconds. The time it takes me to type a question, they've already got the answer and they've moved on to something else. So what do you think the key is for the
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I mean, I talked to a young person and he said, school is so boring,
yeah,
Katarina. What do you find boring? He said, I sit in a history lesson and my teacher gets up to the front of the class and yaps, yaps, yaps. She says, sit down, shut up, and yaps, yaps, yaps. And, then gives us homework. And then we have a test on Thursday.
yeah,
And it's all about the Boston Tea Party. And I can find that information in 2 minutes
yeah,
on YouTube. And
yeah,
he's much more fun than my teacher.
yeah,
Why, in global leadership schools, what we're promoting as well is right brain, left brain screens and an interactive screen where you learn everything in 10 minutes,
yeah,
right? Then the children can create a quiz, a drama. Schools should be the most innovative,
yeah,
dynamic centers
yeah.
in the world.
I
And
agree.
yes,
I agree. I mean, I do think that the teachers need to be changed. The way that they teach needs to be changed. Everything is gamified now, and when you come to gamifying learning, what if the information goes in? Does it matter if it's in a game form or not? I think that they have to make it more interesting and more diverse, and the tools are there. It's
yes, the
all
tools
about
are definitely there. And you asked how. I would say, we have play school and preschool in Sweden up to 7 years old. So
yeah,
children don't start real school until they're seven.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's way too late. However, Karolinska Institute has proved that children are linguistic geniuses up to the age of 6. So they can learn 3 languages
yeah,
easily because they think language is fun. They think it's a game.
yeah,
So, I mean, and there's so much on YouTube. There's so much on they have so much access to games, songs, um, and what are they doing? Well, they're playing. Well, playing is very, very important. I don't deny that, but not all day, every day. They get bored.
yeah.
And children are very, very, their brains are very active. They want to know everything, right?
Mm, yeah.
So so I would say that, in a play school, the first room would be in the native language and communication skills would be taught there, but quite high school. Instead of, I want that toy, it would be more like, John, when you have finished with that toy, may I play with that?
Mm,
Or, John, I would like to play with you and that toy. Is
mm,
that okay with you? And that sort of communication, children can learn that very easily, right?
mm,
So then the second uh, room, when they go in, it would be total immersion. They would learn another language. It would be, for example, English, or it would be Spanish, and then there would be a third room. And they just, when they go in the room, they speak only that language. And if they're not familiar with the language, they just participate as much as they can in the games, and that's it. So
Yeah.
they have three languages, grammatically correct speaking in in just a few years, three languages. And then they don't have to learn the grammar because they know how it sounds.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a friend who she went to school, she went to a Montessori school and didn't learn grammar at school. And she still speaks perfect English. Obviously, she's a native English speaker. And a lot of my students, they come to me and they're worried about their grammar. It's like grammar is not the most important thing when it comes to speaking, when it comes to communicating. And if people make grammatical mistakes, which as native speakers, we make grammatical mistakes all the time because we might change our minds about what we're saying or whatever. But nobody's focusing on my grammar or your grammar.
No,
Sorry, my dog's just coming in to have a little lie down.
so interested in the content.
Yeah.
So three languages before the age of 6. And then when they're 7 years old, they get the choice to start an entrepreneurial business. Now, I think that at 7, start your entrepreneurial journey if you want to. Nobody can be pushed into being an entrepreneur, right? Or start a business so that
Well,
by the time, yes, just a business to make money. That's okay too.
it's all about seeing the gap, isn't it? And I
Yes,
think that that
absolutely.
is a skill that
Yes.
could be trained at a very early age.
And then by the time they're 18, they've learned, am I a visionary entrepreneur or a business person? Am I an organizer? Or am I a marketer? Because you
Mm.
need all those three elements. And they've formed teams together. They've made their mistakes
Yeah,
as entrepreneurs. They buy and sell with points, not with money.
yeah.
But then when they leave school, they have business. So they they have an income for the rest of their life. So
Mhm.
if they go to college, they can pay for college.
Yeah,
If they decide to leave their corporate job, they have an income anyway. So
yeah.
they're free. So that answers your question. What do young people do? Start with three languages, go on to becoming an entrepreneur or a business person, and have a business or an entrepreneurial business on the side for the rest of your life.
How do you think having three languages impacts your ability to make money as an entrepreneur?
We're global, Joanne. We're global.
Mm,
So the more global, I mean, if you have a business, an entrepreneurial business, you have the whole of South America. You
mm.
have the whole of Spain if you speak Spanish, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So, and English is absolutely, like the number one language. So you need to learn English anyway. And
mm.
there's so many people in Pakistan, Bangladesh, who they speak English, but they speak so fast.
Yes,
They speak with such a strong accent. I can't understand them. I
yeah,
can't understand.
yeah,
So they need to speak English. I mean, it's not necessarily British English, American English, whatever, but clear, concise sentences.
yeah.
Uh, because otherwise it doesn't work for their business.
Absolutely. I think communication is the key. It doesn't matter what language you're speaking, as long as you can understand each other, and that's where the problem lies. If you can, whether you're speaking the same language or even if you're using a translation tool, which is obviously not ideal because you miss out on the body language and things like that. But I think communication is one of the key things. So last question, actually, because we're kind of running out of time, which is a shame. We'll have to do this again, I think. Um, how do you balance having a strong vision with staying adaptable to change? Because obviously, as an entrepreneur, you have to roll with the punches. I mean, I remember the day that ChatGPT was launched, and I think everyone kind of went, "What's this?" And so I'm sure that a lot of people will be looking at how they can evolve their own businesses so that they stay relevant and stay ahead of the curve. But how do you balance having a strong vision with staying adaptable?
Well, AI, ChatGPT is incredible.
Mm,
it won't find your driving purpose. It doesn't know you. It won't create your blueprint for you, but it will help you communicate. So embrace it.
Hmm.
You know, it will help you achieve your vision. It will help you in your vision. It will help you in your business, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. So embrace it,
Hmm.
learn it. It's there for you. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I wrote a book in 3 weeks. I already had all the content. And I feel that ChatGPT knows me and knows my knowledge. And it went much, much faster. I wrote 15 chapters in 3 weeks. And anybody actually can do that as long as they have content.
Yeah.
So, so yes, adapt, balance, and use the resources we have. I mean, we're not in the dark ages anymore.
No, absolutely.
We're in
Absolutely.
the star age, and we need to use it, and we need to use it, with integrity as well.
Of course. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. So thank you very much. Do you have any last points that you want to first of all, what we'll do with this video is we'll put your contact details in with the video so people can get in touch with you and they can follow you on all your socials. But do you have any last points that you want to make or last point for this video?
Yes, I have a gift for everybody watching.
Marvelous. Love a
You
gift.
can spend 15 minutes with me, and we will find whether you are a visionary, an organizer, or a marketer. This is crucial, not only to your business, but to your relationships. Because if you're a visionary man and you're married to an organizational woman, it's not going to work. She might be, she might be the breadwinner, but she's not. She's going to be very frustrated with you. So that doesn't work. The other way around works. If you are a visionary woman and you're married to an organizational man or a marketer, he will support you. Okay, so
Okay.
absolutely crucial to find out. We should find out in school, but 15 minutes of my time, click on my Calendly link and book a time with me and find out who you.
Brilliant. That sounds perfect. So find out if you've got the right husband or wife. If
Well,
not,
you can
then maybe
say,
you'll.
don't get it. There's a way you can actually be in harmony, even if you're a visionary man married to an organizational wife. You can.
Brilliant.
Can work.
Brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time. It was lovely, lovely, lovely to see you. We'll definitely have to do this again. I think there's so much more to explore. But meanwhile, thank you very much for your time, Katerina, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.
Thank you, Joanne.
Take
My pleasure.
care.